Welcome to the Nightmare Zoo, where the hunt is never over, and the shadows are always watching. If you want to survive the next encounter, you need to be prepared. Remember to subscribe to the Nightmare Zoo. Hit that like button before something in the dark snatches you up first. Join the Nightmare Zoo as we venture into the heart of the Jersey Devil's domain, where we will be sharing a spine-chilling story of what really happened during the exploration.
Viewer discretion is advised.
Into the Jersey Devil's domain. An explorer's spine-chilling story. The silence of the New Jersey Pine Barrens is a living thing. It's not an absence of sound, but a heavy, watchful presence that presses down on you, a blanket of whispered secrets and ancient dread. I'm a former Navy SEAL. I've operated in the dead quiet jungles of the Philippines and the frozen voids of the Arctic. I know silence. This was different. This silence was hungry. My name is John Vance. I was here to document the unique ecology of the Barrens, a solo expedition to map its hidden waterways. It was a cover, of course. I was also chasing a ghost, a local legend I heard in a dusty tavern from a man with fearful eyes. The Jersey Devil. The first sign wasn't a sound, but a smell. 3 days into my trek, the clean scent of pine and damp earth curdled into something foul, a coppery tongue of fresh blood underpinned by the cloying stench of rot in something else, something musky and reptilian. I followed it, my training overriding my revulsion. A good operator identifies all threats in his area of operation. I found the threat in a small, too-quiet clearing. The ground was black, not with soil, but with dried, soaked-in blood. And the trees, my fucking God, the trees. They were adorned with the dead. A full-grown white-tailed buck was impaled high on the splintered trunk of a pine, a sharpened branch thrust through its chest and out its back. Its entrails, glistening and blue, were draped over the lower branches like morbid tinsel. A raccoon was similarly displayed on a nearby tree, its skull crushed, its body twisted into a broken, impossible shape. But it was the third tree that stopped my heart. A human form, or what was left of one. A hunter, still clad in torn camouflage, was hung by his neck from a high branch, not with a rope, but with his own intestines. His chest was a gaping cavity, picked clean. His face was frozen in a final silent scream of unimaginable terror. Flies buzzed in a lazy, gluttonous cloud. This was no predator's kill. This was a gallery, a testament of hate. My blood ran cold, not with fear, but with a cold, professional fury. This was a hostile entity, a high-value target. My mission had just changed from exploration to termination. I made camp as the sun bled out behind the stunted pines. I chose a defensible position with a rock face at my back, built a large fire, and laid out my tools, a 12-gauge shotgun, a weighted hatchet, and my Kabar combat knife. The fire was my perimeter, its crackle my early warning system. The first attack came just after midnight. It didn't roar. It screeched. A sound that was neither bat nor bird nor reptile, but a horrific fusion of all three, a nails-on chalkboard shriek that tore at the fabric of my sanity. It came from everywhere and nowhere at once. It hit the edge of my firelight like a missile, a blur of shadow and nightmare. I caught a flash of it as it banked away, and my mind, trained to assess threats in milliseconds, stuttered. It stood on two powerful, backwards-jointed legs ending in hooves that clacked on the stone. Its torso was lean and muscular, covered in a leathery, dark hide. Its arms were too long, ending in claws that were more like talons, curved and black as obsidian. But its head was the stuff of pure madness. A long equine neck supported a grotesque, goat-like head. Its eyes glowed with a sick, intelligent red phosphorescence. Its mouth was pulled back in a permanent snarl, revealing rows of needle-sharp, predatory teeth. And from its spine erupted a pair of tattered, membranous wings webbed like a bat's. that beat the air with a sound like a corpse falling onto dry leaves. The Jersey Devil was real, and the goddamn thing was looking right at me. It dove. I raised the shotgun and fired. The blast was deafening. I saw the shot rip into its wing, tearing a hole in the leathery membrane. It screeched in fury, not pain, and veered off, landing just outside the firelight. It paced there, a hunched, grotesque silhouette, its glowing eyes never leaving me. It was studying me. The night became a siege. It would vanish for an hour, the silence somehow more terrifying than the screeches, only to reappear suddenly, right at the edge of the darkness, testing my reflexes, trying to lure me out. I didn't sleep. I didn't lower my weapon. Just before dawn, as the fire began to wane, it made its move. It didn't charge. It simply stopped pacing. It tilted its head, and then it mimicked a human voice. It was the voice of the dead hunter from the tree, a wet, gurgling rasp. "Help me, please, it hurts." The sound was so perfectly, horrifyingly human that my finger tightened on the trigger instinctively. It was a goddamn fucking trick. A second of distraction was all it needed. It burst through the dying fire, kicking a storm of embers into my face. I fired blindly. The shot went wide. 100 pounds of muscle, rage and claw slammed into me, driving me to the ground. The shotgun was torn from my grip and skittered into the darkness. Its weight was immense. The stench of it, blood and decay and that foul musk filled my lungs. One clawed hand pinned my knife arm to the ground. The other swiped at my face. I jerked my head aside, and the talons scored deep furrows across my Kevlar-reinforced jacket instead, shredding it like paper. Its horse-like head darted forward, those teeth snapping inches from my throat. I brought my knee up, driving it into its lean gut. It was like hitting solid rubber. It barely grunted, but the impact gave me a microsecond to move. I bucked, using every ounce of my strength, and managed to roll us over. I drove my fist into the side of its head. My hand exploded in pain. It was like punching a brick wall. It screeched, a sound of pure outrage, and threw me off. I landed hard, my back hitting a rock. The world swam. I saw it rise up, its wings spreading, blotting out the pre-dawn sky. It prepared to lunge. My hand found the hatchet. As it descended, I didn't try to dodge. I met it. I swung the hatchet in a short, brutal arc, putting my whole body into it. The blade connected with its forward-jointed leg with a wet, cracking thud. Bone shattered. Black, tar-like blood sprayed across my face, burning like acid. The devil's screech was ear-shattering. It stumbled, its leg buckling. I scrambled backward, grabbing a burning log from the fire. I thrust the flaming brand into its face. It recoiled, shrieking, batting at its own snout with its claws. The smell of its own burning flesh joined the horrific melling. It was blinded, enraged, and wounded. It wasn't running. It was cornered. And so was I. We faced each other in the gray dawn light. Two battered creatures in a ring of ash and blood. I had my knife in one hand, the burning log in the other. It stood on 3 legs, its broken limb dangling, its face a smoldering ruin, its red eyes burning with an intelligence that promised a long, slow death. It lunged one last time. I dropped the log and met its charge, diving under its grasping claws and driving my kabar up and into its chest, twisting with a savage grunt. We fell together in a tangled heap of man and monster. It thrashed wildly, its claws raking my side, tearing through flesh and muscle. I held on, stabbing again and again and again, each thrust accompanied by a guttural scream of my own. Its movements slowed. Its struggles grew weaker. With a final shuddering gasp, it went still beneath me. I rolled off it, my body screaming in agony. I lay there, bleeding, watching the sun finally rise over the pines. I had survived. I forced myself to stand, to assess the body of my enemy. I approached the still form, my knife ready. The devil's head snapped up. Its ruined, smoldering face was inches from mine. One glowing red eye was gone, but the other fixed on me with undiminished hatred. It wasn't dead. It had been waiting. It opened its maw, and a final, weak hiss escaped, along with a trickle of black blood. Then, with a speed I thought impossible, it scrambled backwards on 3 limbs, its broken wing dragging, and vanished into the thick undergrowth of the barrens. I didn't pursue. I couldn't. I collapsed, using my last shred of coherence to pack my wounds and start a new fire. I made it out of the pine barrens. Just barely. The doctors in the small-town hospital said my wounds were like nothing they ever seen. Deep lacerations from a non-serrated blade, acid-like burns, and a bite mark on my Kevlar vest that no known animal could have made. They don't believe my story. They call it delirium from blood loss and infection. But I know it's still out there, healing and waiting. The fire didn't kill it. My knife didn't kill it. I just made it angrier. Every night, when the wind blows through the trees outside my window, I don't hear the leaves. I hear the dry, rustling beat of tattered wings, and I know my fight isn't over. The Jersey Devil has a long memory, and it has my scent now.
Thanks for watching. Now hit that subscribe button for the Nightmare Zoo. I dare ya.